Hi, I'm AJ.
I'm Jeremy.
I got cats.
Welcome back for our Friday episode. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. First story out of the gate, New Jersey. Fort Lee, a little town there, has had a really, really big problem with unattentive pedestrians. So, people walking down the street, particularly young people, doing their little thing and not paying attention. Apparently, since January, 20-some-odd people have been hit, and at least 3 have died. So,
Is really texting that important to you? Sorry.
Apparently.
It's
really, really dumb. So, that being said, the police there have actually decided to crack down and write tickets. Apparently, there's no real laws on the books for being an unattentive pedestrian, but apparently they're going to find them. They're going to figure it out. They're going to ticket them and, bring them to court for disorderly walking.
Okay.
All right. So,
going along the cops thing, this is actually kind of a surprise to me. I didn't know this could actually happen.
I totally did. I'd heard of it before.
Okay. So, guy went and was having some heart problems, and so he went and got some testing done. He was a fireman and been under some stress. Testing involved ingesting some radioactive material, low-level stuff, so that doctors could look in and see what's happening in there. Rather common procedure. Anyway, he started driving home and got pulled over
by a state trooper.
And he couldn't figure out what he'd been doing, like most of us, right? Anyway, and so...
I had no idea I was going 45 over the speed limit. What are you talking about?
Either way, so he asked the officer, why'd you pull me over? And the officer says, well, you were giving off radiation. And instead of being, like, mad or, just outraged, he's just like, he was completely shocked. He was like, I didn't even know you could even detect that. And he showed him the papers for the procedure and everything, and everything was fine. He was like, you guys have stuff to detect that? And the officer was like, yeah, actually it's really sensitive stuff. And most officers, at least in this city, have this equipment. Let's see, Fairfield County in Trumbull, Connecticut. Thank you. I completely forgot the state. Either way, and evidently this is actually rather commonplace from what comments are saying. So, go figure.
Jumping around the U.S. down to Arizona, where normally I wouldn't even care about Arizona state championship of anything, much less baseball. I'm not a huge sports fan. Don't know if you can tell that. But the Our Lady of Sorrows Academy in Phoenix was doing very well in their bracket, and as was, I forget the name of the other one, Mesa Prep Academy, I think.
Right.
And so, they were going to go head-to-head in the baseball championship, and Our Lady of Sorrows decided to bow out, and their cited reason is that the second base person of the Mesa Preparatory Academy is a girl. And apparently, in the Our Lady of Sorrows Academy, they're what's the word?
Catholic. Their
no
religion.
Anyways, their mission, the creed that they follow is a very strict form of Catholicism. Go read it, anyways, because I didn't apparently.
It's separatist, is what it is. They're separatist Catholics with really extreme rules and stuff. So anyway, they said, "Sorry, we're not going to play you for the championship." They've actually said the same thing before, and she's actually bowed out. But this was
a state thing, and she sat out a couple of games so that the two could play. But it's a championship, and she's not gonna sit out that just because of a stupid rule.
I hate winning that way, but you know what? I'd say if the other people don't want it enough, they don't want it enough.
Indeed.
All right. President Obama. He was...
Probably the greatest thing he's ever said while being president.
Yeah, I can understand why his approval rating is dropping. Well,
Plummeting is the right word.
Right.
Plummeting.
Like a rock in a lake. Anyway. He was quoted as saying at a get-together thing talking about the economy, that kind of stuff, says, it was a house of cards, it being the economy, and it collapsed in the most destructive, worst crisis that we've seen since the Great Depression. Okay? And sometimes people forget the magnitude of it. You know, you saw some of that in the video that was shown. Sometimes I forget. What? You forgot about you forgot how bad the economy got? Really?
He was too busy talking about gay marriage.
Mitt Romney's group jumped onto this. His press secretary responded with, "It's not surprising that a president who forgot to create jobs, forgot to cut the debt, and forgot to change Washington has now admitted that he's forgotten about the recession. In fact, it seems that the president has forgotten that he's been in office for the last 3.5 years. In November, the American people won't forget." We can only hope.
Indeed. So outside of, I believe, San Francisco in California, Sacramento in
One of
California.
those S's.
I see what you did there. In Ileton,
Yeah.
the police chief there got placed on administrative paid leave just very recently because his Facebook told everyone that he knew that he was about to call a press conference about how bad things are in that area because they keep having just problems and problems and problems, and he Facebooked about it, and then very, very shortly thereafter, his boss came in and was like, "Hey, guess what? You're out. Bye. See you later."
What?
Apparently, allegedly, there are claims that the public has problems with him, and so they're putting him on leave. But
he's calling BS.
He's calling BS and calling it out on national television. And apparently, when you try and remove somebody from office for admitting problems, there are consequences. At least I know somewhere at my job, there's a thing called the Whistleblower Act, where if you work in the public sector and you try and blow whistles and you are you get reprisal for it, it's actually illegal. So have fun. We miss you. Speaking of California.
Oh, geez. So studies come out. Well, actually more just results of a test have come out. Test being national testing of high schoolers. California ranks as 47th in science, according to all the numbers. For me, this is really big. They get into a lot of details. They get into a lot of saying, this and this is why getting into education is important. Except that California has some of the highest money in education, highest education taxes in the country. Right up there next to New York, which has some of the most strenuous requirements for becoming a teacher. New York's pretty low too. For me, this just kind of proves that's not the solution. You can't just dump money into a system and it'll start working. You need people that want to teach. You need good teaching methods. You need to be able to teach on an individual basis and not have everyone just reaching the same mark all the time. It doesn't work like that. People are individuals.
My mom taught for 15 or so years with, very little, I'll say, gratitude given to her by her peers. She was phenomenal. She tried all kinds of different curriculums to try and influence her students. She's an English teacher, and when she stepped out of the box, when she tried to innovate, she consistently was smacked down a little bit. Not quite so violent as that sounds, but it was always, she was met with great resistance, and that kind of thing consistently happens in education, where teachers have the best ideas and the best intentions, and they can't go forward with those intentions and those ideas because the administration is
we have to do everything by the book.
By the book.
I'm sorry, the books can't cover the sheer variety and ability of your kids. Yeah. Not possible.
So, that being said, yay, teachers. Yeah. Honestly, we love our teachers, and our good teachers that try hard, keep trying. You will succeed at some point.
Yay, teachers, boo curriculums.
And lastly, but not leastly, we've found out, and some of us who are photographers would appreciate Horst Foss, who is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, particularly for a lot of work he did in Vietnam, and he worked for Associated Press for almost half a century. He died today, 79 years old. With people like that, with people like that, it's hard to see how our generation is going to measure up to how cool that is. Well, at least we have Instagram.
In the link down below, we have there's a list or a slideshow, I guess, of some of his best works. So
yeah, go check that out. And also, PPS, we have a great video for you. We'll link it right. Let's do it right here. Right here. Click on that. It's actually a link to a video on YouTube. Go check it out. Well, I'm not even going to spoil the surprise. Go look at it. It's super good. And it'll make you happy and cry. There's a reason I wear these sunglasses. But moving on. Thank you for watching. I'm Jeremy.
I'm AJ.
These are extraordinary times. Subscribe to us if you liked it, if you really liked it, favorite if you really, really liked it, and we will see you next week. Be aware.